Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the full review for this OnePlus 9RT smartphone that I've been using with my primary SIM for about 8 or 9 days now. And guys, I'll let you know my experience. And by the way guys, I use this as a normal business user who takes a lot of calls, does everyday stuff and all this thing. But again, I'm not a gamer, so I haven't done extensive gaming on this one. If you want to know about the gaming aspects of this smartphone, check out with others. But let's break it down between the pros and cons. So here is the box, and again check out my unboxing video if you want to know more about this one. And this is a proper retail unit that I had purchased from Amazon, and I have been actually using it with the supplied case guys, so I'll give you my experience also. So let's break it down between the pros and cons. In fact, I would say this OnePlus 9RT is a far better smartphone compared to the regular OnePlus 9 or even the 9R. That this is the phone it has to be, it should have been. But again, it's not without its some unique flaws that I've found. So let's get on with this. So let's first talk about the good things that I liked about this device. Those are the pros, and there are some nitpickings also. I'll mention about that one also. So first thing is regarding the screen. It's a 6.62 inch screen, so it's neither big neither small, and again it's a AMOLED screen, and it's a 120 hertz screen, so very good. In fact, in direct sunlight also I was using it for GPS navigation. It was adequately bright, so I did not have a problem. And for 99% of the users, you will not notice this. But guys, OnePlus did slight cost cutting here. This is actually an 8-bit panel, not a 10-bit panel. Like some of the other vendors in this price range now have started giving a 10-bit panel. So, but again, as I've told you, most of you won't notice that, but that is something that I've noticed. And again, the screen quality is good, the touch response is good. It has the in-display fingerprint scanner, and that's working very well. That's the case with almost every OnePlus device. So that's the case with even with this one. Auto brightness, I'll just disable it because my camera will go bonkers. But overall, it's a good phone, and the size is okay. I would say it's neither too big nor small, so fits comfortably in the hand. I would slightly bigger, but again you'll get used to the same. Next thing is regarding the OS. Again, we know the new OnePlus is basically a color OS, but this comes out of the box with Android 11. If you go to the software about the phone, as you can see, this comes with Oxygen OS version 11, and this is still on Android 11 guys. This will be getting the Android 12 update. I was reading some forums, March or April time frame, not clear. So yes, this will be getting Android 12, and I just want to make this very clear. There have been rumors that this smartphone will be just getting 2 Android updates. That's actually not true. Yes, this comes with Android 11, and this will be getting actually 3 Android updates. So this will get Android 12, 13 and 14. So that's regarding the Android. But again, the Android 12 is going to be based on Color OS, though technically they might say so. It's basically Color OS under the hood that you'll get with Android 12 on this one. But again, I would say this is the good, this will be the good part of it, because again, still it does not have a lot of ton of bloatwares and stuff. Spotify was pre-installed, but again, that's a decent app I would say, and some OnePlus specific apps. Apart from that, and Netflix was also installed. Apart from that, no junkware or bloatware. So that way I would say still a very clean experience that you're getting, and the phone was very fluid to use. I have set it to 120 hertz. Again, the panel is supporting 120 hertz. I've been actually using it for 120 hertz, so no issues regarding that. So this is again, I would say, the clean version of Color OS that way. So that way, software experience is decent. I noticed some jitter here and there, but again, that's sort of nitpicking guys. I was just looking for it sometimes, but overall, most of you, again, as I've told you, 95% of people as of now will be happy, and OnePlus is not adding a lot of junk with the, with a smartphone. Another thing that I like, and this is specifically for this color, I don't know how applicable this will be for other colors. This is that matte black one, and I like that the back, I'm using it with the case, supplied case, but if you plan to use it without the case, this one does not get any fingerprints. So that's actually really nice, and this is glass. This is not plastic or something like Samsung is doing. So that way, this feels a lot more premium, I would say, to look. And in fact, in build quality, here also I have to give full marks to OnePlus. This time, the chases, outer chases is metallic, not plastic or anything. So when you pick up the phone and hold it in your hand, it gives you that premium sort of feel. So there, no cost cutting or something like that. And I still like that we have the alert slider. So I like this. This is a unique thing. And pretty convenient, I would say. So that way, in terms of build quality, it's good, and I like this matte back. So if you use it without the case, you don't get those ugly fingerprints. And actually, to be frank, this actually really looks cool in this black color. Anyways, moving to the next one is, and this is a thing that I liked on this smartphone. Again, this is having a flagship processor, Snapdragon 888, not an issue. But one thing I noticed is that the Wi-Fi reception is actually pretty good on this smartphone. Let's test it out. Results. As you can see, 794, 766. These are some of the best that I've seen. These sort of speeds, these very high speeds I get with the iPhone 13 Pro. So that way, in terms of the Wi-Fi reception and antenna, they haven't compromised. Another decent thing is this one actually supports eight bands of 5G. Still, it can be improved because many of the smartphones around the 40,000 price point are giving about 11 bands, 13 bands of 5G. But still, 8 bands of 5G, it's far better than 2 bands of 5G what OnePlus was giving just a year ago. So that's regarding the thing. Wi-Fi is good. Okay, another thing is that this is the base variant. That's minor lag that I saw sometimes, but so again, some optimizations are needed, I would say. Like I checked with the update, guys, so they are not giving monthly updates. If I go to the software update, as you can see, it says December 5th was the last update that I got, and I didn't get the update now. So looks like monthly they are not giving an update. So maybe once in 2 or 3 months. That's regarding security update. But Android 12 will be coming soon to this device. Next thing that some of you have asked me, this is having the Snapdragon 888 and the regular OnePlus 9 Pro had heating issues. I had a retail unit of that one also, and that was not also giving me good battery life. It was known that heating issues, so they had to throttle down the processor or something like that. On this one, with the regular day-to-day usage, guys, I'm using it daily. I would say the battery life is okay, and even I did not notice any excessive heating. Yes, the back slightly gets warm if you're doing heavily using it, multitasking or something like that, but it never became uncomfortably hot or anything like I experienced in the OnePlus 9 Pro. So I won't say this is heating or something like that. So don't worry. In fact, this got warm as much as the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE when I was using. Slightly warm, but not hot. So that's regarding the heating. So that way I would say shouldn't be a problem. But again, as I've told you, I'm not a hardcore gamer, so I didn't play games continuously for 1.5 hours. If you want to know that, check out some others. So heating is not an issue. Now coming to the battery on this one, it has a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and I have to say the battery life is okay, decent enough that we expect with the flagship smartphones. I was getting, let me actually show you. I think so I've saved the screenshot, so let's look at it. Okay, let me actually show you. Okay, here it was at 17% and 1 day of the charger. That's slightly over 24 hours, and we got a screen on time of 5 hours 4 minutes on this one. So that's the typical that I was getting, about 5 to 5.5 hours of SOT, and this is the usage that we were getting. One more. Here just got about 4 hours. I don't know, I think so I use the GPS quite a bit, so here I got a 4 hours, and typically but again standby time is more, 1 day 7 hours, and here again, as you can see, it was at 11%. 4 hours 54 minutes, again one day 7 hours or something like that. So this is the battery life I was getting, about roughly about 5 hours to about 5.5 hours with my typical usage scenario, guys. And this is neither great nor bad, I would say, because this is the same amount of battery life I was getting even on the recent Samsung Galaxy S21 FE that came with the Exynos 2100. So it's like that. But if you're expecting 8, 9 hours, 10 hours of battery life, again, go for the mid-ranges with Snapdragon 778, etc. Those get far better battery. But for typical days worth of usage, it is lasting me without any issues, I would say. It didn't create an anxiety, and again, it comes with the fast charger in the box, so even if you just top it up for 15 minutes, it's good to go. So that way I would say battery life okay, but don't keep your expectations realistic, guys. This is a flagship smartphone with a Snapdragon 888, and these flagship processors consume a lot of battery, so that way decent but not extraordinary. Anyways, let's move to the next thing, and let's now move to the camera on this one. The main camera is a 50 megapixel, that's the IMX766 on this one, and then we have a 16 megapixel ultra wide, and I don't know why the 2 megapixel macro. Yes, those 2 megapixel macro in depth are okay for 20,000 and even up to 25,000, I would say, but for a 45,000 smartphone, that's not cool. But yeah, that's what we have. front facing is a 16 megapixel. But let me first actually show you camera samples taken with the rear facing camera. And outdoors, I would say the rear facing camera actually does a pretty good job. In fact, I would say the pictures are a little bit more saturated than what I would say. But again, many people like that saturation. Slight color boost is there in the pictures, but most of you would actually like it. But the problem is that in portrait mode, I felt that the camera was pretty weak. For some reason, the portrait mode was simply not done that well. I don't know if OnePlus is doing this intentionally, because I have tested some other smartphones with the IMX766 and those come out great. The pictures, the portraits come out great on that. In fact, I can't reveal. I'm testing one more smartphone. I don't know the exact price. It also comes with the IMX766 that might be priced around just 25,000, and that takes better pictures than this one. So I don't know what OnePlus is doing. Looks like they are not optimizing the camera intentionally so that this smartphone does not compete with the OnePlus 9 Pro, I feel, because the camera is decent, I would say, but in certain scenarios it just falls apart, which is very weird. In fact, don't get me wrong, the camera is pretty good. I would say most of you would like it, but if we compare with some of the cameras in this price range, then it's slightly weaker. In fact, the Samsung Galaxy S21 FE's camera is far better than this one, specifically the rear facing camera. In fact, I made a comparison video. You can check that out for more info. Now moving to the front facing camera, that's a 16 megapixel. Here I would say I'm liking the front facing camera. The pictures that come out of the front facing camera are actually really good. Even the portrait mode actually works very well. In fact, now let's talk about video. And here I've noticed some weird stuff. I don't know, again, I think so OnePlus is intentionally doing that. But here are some of the video samples.
Recording this part of the video with the OnePlus RT's front facing camera, and as you can see, I'm just walking around. One strange thing that I notice is that though the front facing camera is capable of recording 4K video, but for some reason there is no 4K option with the front facing camera, which is very puzzling, because it has the Snapdragon 888. I just don't know why OnePlus did not enable 4K video recording with the front facing camera. But again, this is a sample with the front facing camera, and the audio is also being recorded via the same. It looks cool here, at least in the preview, but they should have given a 4K option. I hope they enable this 4K video recording option with the OTA update. Now recording this video with the rear facing camera of this OnePlus RT, and I've set it to 4K guys, and I haven't enabled the stabilization option. There is also the stabilization option which crops in a little bit. This is without the stabilization option, but I'm walking and this is in 4K. Now let me do the same thing and I'll enable the stabilization option to see the difference. Okay guys, this is the stabilization option, but whenever I enable the stabilization option, it's not staying in 4K. It is dropping down to 1080p at 60 FPS. This is a weird bug. I don't know why they don't enable stabilization at 4K. Hopefully they enable it with the OTA update, because the Snapdragon 888 processor is capable of doing it.
So that was the camera sample. Okay, I completely forgot about one more thing. Network reception was no issues. It works even with Airtel over Wi-Fi, that Wi-Fi calling and all those things. But still my primary SIM is in this one, and my Airtel SIM. So that way the earpiece is also good on this smartphone. Not an issue. It's clear and something. But there is one major issue that I noticed with this smartphone, and let's talk about that. And now let's talk about the cons, some of the nitpickings and things that I did not like with this smartphone. Okay, first let's talk about the call quality, and this is regarding the proximity sensor. Again, yes, this is the first OnePlus smartphone that I have tested is having a proximity sensor. And as I've told you guys, I was using it with the case, and for small calls it was not an issue at all, less than 30 seconds or whatever. But on slightly longer calls that are more than 3-4 minutes, almost every time I had a proximity sensor issue. The calls were going to mute or getting cut or something like that. And I removed the case and used it directly like this, and that reduced it a little bit, but it was not completely gone. So I don't know, the proximity sensor issue is there at least on my unit, and this is a retail unit. So that is something that I do not like. So if you're a what do you say, business kind of a person and you take very long calls, then this can be a real issue to you. So again, check with real users, guys. Those who have purchased a retail unit, are they having a proximity sensor issue? I don't know why this was a specialty of Xiaomi. Xiaomi's phones used to have the proximity sensor issue. I don't know how it went to this OnePlus. So if it's an exception, again, that talks about the quality control, but that is something that I did not like, and I was baffled because OnePlus devices never have this sort of proximity sensor issue. Okay, moving to the next thing is, again, I feel the camera, the sensor is great or something. Intentionally, they have crippled the camera so that this does not compete with the, what do you say, OnePlus 9 Pro. And in video, man, you've got a great front-facing camera, but you're restricting the video for the front-facing camera not to 4K. I don't get it why you guys are doing. Moving to the rear-facing camera also, if you want that stabilization option, it does not shoot in 4K. And we know the Snapdragon 888 is a fabulous, such a powerful, what do you say, processor with one of the best ISP, that is image signaling processor. It can easily handle this. So looks like intentionally they are not giving these features. I hope OnePlus listens to users' feedback and enables those options with a software update. Anyways, moving to the next thing is regarding, and this is sort of nitpicking, guys. Most of you will not be worried about this because I test so many smartphones. I've noticed this. This has stereo speakers, good, and in fact the stereo speakers are quite loud also, but the stereo balancing is not done very well. I would say about 60 to 62% of the volume comes from this one, and just about 40 odd percent of the volume comes from this one. You will not notice it, but if you're picky, you will notice that imbalance. This is a small thing, but I have noticed that. And again, this one comes out of the box with Android 11. It should have come out with Android 12, but we'll get 3 years of 3 Android updates. So Android 12, this will be getting 13 and 14, but not Android 15, guys. So that's what it is. And overall, I would say I like this smartphone. It's a far more practical and a better smartphone than the OnePlus 9 or even the 9R. They have actually fixed a lot of flaws that they had. But again, there are some things that they have crippled on this device. I don't get it. Why is the portrait shots don't come out good on this one? So I feel the camera can definitely improve, because with the same sensor, other vendors, in fact, OnePlus is indirectly owned by Oppo now. Oppo smartphones are getting better results with the same sensor. So I don't get it why. So hopefully they fix it with a software update. But the only nitpicking that I have from a practical usage point of view is that proximity sensor issue. And that can be an issue if you take a lot of calls. So again, check that with the real users if they are also having the proximity sensor issue. It is definitely there on my unit. Guys, this was my review of this OnePlus 9RT. Certainly a much better smartphone compared to some of the earlier OnePlus 9 series of smartphone. So this was my review, and weigh down the pros and cons and decide. And guys, if you're buying this smartphone, buy it from my link that is from Amazon. It does help the channel. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.